The key, though, jumping back to Pence, the key to shut down the Capitol was the pipe bomber. When they noticed that there was this pipe bomb, they notified the Capitol, and that's why, my understanding, why the real truth, if we get to it, is why they shut down the Capitol, removed everybody. So this pipe bomber thing is extremely important, just as much as Pence. It allowed Pence then to leave and allowed him to hand it over to Pelosi and her to certify the election for Biden.
And the pipe bomber, Joe, was an employee of the Capitol Police, correct?
Correct. I believe absolutely. And then she left to go join the CIA, and she's still there. And when this information came out, suddenly the FBI, after 5 years under Kash Patel, and they have a big presser with him and Bondi, and I think Bongino up there too. They're idiots for trusting these people. The first step in cleaning up a regime is get rid of the people. Clean house. Any CEO knows that, but they didn't do that. And so what happens is they make believe that this guy, this young black man with autism, is the pipe bomber. And they say, well, he bought some materials at like Home Depot 2 years prior that would make up part of the bomb. So it's insanity. This guy walks around, according to the neighbors, he walks around in like these duck shoes in the middle of winter and shorts all the time, walking his little chihuahua or something like that. They're saying this guy is not really very functional at all. And they brought him in for 2 hours without an attorney. And after 2 hours, they talked him into pleading guilty. It's just unbelievable.
It is unbelievable. And this, Joe, this is the justification for Pence clearing the Capitol and surrendering complete control over a potential investigation into election fraud to Nancy Pelosi.
Yeah. And then they sentence a patsy, this poor black young man. His family's crying, saying he didn't do it.
Yeah.
He couldn't have done it. He's just not capable of doing something like that. And they're crying. They had a hearing here recently, and what they did is they started putting paper up on the window so people couldn't see in what was going on. Now, who does that? It reminds us of Detroit in 2020.
Exactly.
This is the stuff that's going on in our DOJ today. So
that is so crazy.
This is the mess that we're in, and they're still covering up, though. The pipe bomber was everything. They needed that lie. And if you ever look at the pipe bomb, it's a joke. It's like based on a timer that you'd set on your oven, which is made out of freaking plastic and it's a joke. It's a wind up thing. They're saying that was the pipe bomb. And yet it was dropped off the night before, supposedly. And the next day it was supposed to go off with a little stovetop timer. I mean, nothing makes sense. It was
nothing makes sense, Joe. And as you said, Joe, a minute ago, none of this has received any degree of redress. I want to tell you read something that someone sent me a message, and just tell me what you think about this. It says that Trump is planning big action on election fraud before the midterms. He'll still lose unless we see accountability and real action as follows. Fire Susie Wiles, fire Pam Bondi, fire Kash Patel, fire Howard Lutnick, and fire anyone else closely tied to Epstein, arrest and prosecute the COVID criminals, including Bill Gates and Fauci, arrest and prosecute the DOJ crooks that abused their power on J6, COVID, past elections, going after the Trump family, and free Tina Peters.
Well, that's a good rant.
It's good. It's good. I think, personally, I'll say this. I think we can win the election if we fix the election, we're going to win it. Then that gives us more time to bring accountability. But that clock's ticking.